Hello, and welcome to this week's live stream. In this video, we're going to be talking all about your best opener, how you can choose the right opener to start your performances. And so let me bring in the guys here. We got Mr. Jeff and Mr. Rick. How we doing, guys?
Hey, doing great.
I don't know why I called you Mr. Jeff. I mean, it's like on Mr. Rogers show or something.
You're the Mr. Copeland's coin channel for all the kiddos.
I think I called you Mr. though because I have to look up to the beardedness of both of you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the winter beard has taken in full. You got to stay warm here in southern Texas.
Man, it looks like you're both from Colorado or something. We need to bring Danny Goldsmith back on. See
Yeah,
some Colorado beards or something.
yeah. This is my Colorado Coke, I'm thinking.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's awesome. That's awesome. What we doing good today? Everything good?
Yeah. Excited. I'm excited about this topic. Excited to be here. It's a good topic Caleb picked out for us.
Yeah, it was a good topic. All about openers. It's so vitally important. Those, just like we talk about in videos and things, it's like those first couple seconds. You want to make sure everybody has their attention and engaged. You want to do the same thing when you're doing magic, right? So, let's jump straight in. We had a couple just talking points, and if anybody has any questions, I also said in the email if you want to put in your opener down in the comments as we're talking about this, we could talk about it, workshop it, bring it up as an option for other people to consider as a train of thought. So put down in the comments as soon as you hear this, put the current openers that you use right now. And then the three of us can talk about the openers we use as well if we'd like, and just kind of all workshop it together. So, but the first thing I wanted to talk about was you have a very specific thought on openers, Jeff, that you kind of introduced me to. For those who haven't heard it, and maybe those who have, just to clarify, can you kind of run through what your thought on an opener should be?
Yeah. So you guys, I know I shared on the live stream probably some different aspects about it throughout this last year, but I think the openers should be flourishes. I think the opener should be something flashy, something entertaining that grabs somebody's attention, because in this day and age, there's so much competing for somebody's attention. And if you're in the restaurant, you're already like competing for attention. There's the waiter, there's the manager, there could be the hostess, and who knows how they are acting, dressing, or interacting with the customers. There's the family members, there could be the screaming toddlers who may or may not be on screens. Plus, the patrons at the restaurant may or may not be on their screens. And at just the touch of a button, they can see some of the most advanced magic in all of history. And so you're going to come in and be this magician that they need to watch, that they may or may not even know was at the party or at the cocktail party or at the restaurant or wherever your environment is. You got to show off something pretty fast and show that you are worthy of watching. And that's my take on it. That's my opinion. And so when I come out, I will do something very, very quick that might be skillful, that will display that I've got some talent. And hey, what's this guy doing with the ring? And just from that, because I'm more micro magic guys, some guys might use things that catch on fire and stuff like that. That is going to allow the people to know that this guy's serious. And so for me, I want something that's skillful that they can't see anywhere else, that I can do with my own hands. And so I'll use something like the ring or a coin and just get in there and let them know they're about to see something that is more impressive than anything that they're going to see this next hour.
So let me ask on that note, as you do it, because I'm trying to imagine, as you do that skillful thing, is that during the moment that you're introducing yourself to this new group or this new table at like a walk around performance, or are you introducing and then pulling this prop out and then doing something skillful silently and kind of waiting for their attention?
Yeah. So the cold call, the cold approach is like always the most difficult thing, right? So, I mean, what if I'm in an environment, one, I want the patrons to already know that I'm there as a performer, because that helps a lot, right? So if I'm at a restaurant, I want a sign that says performing tonight. So everybody walks by the hostess stand, they see there's a magician here tonight. So they're a little more prepared. And most people see that sign. I want the servers to know, if I can get them on my side. That's the main thing. I'll do tricks for the servers at the very beginning so that they're announcing that the magician is here. So, hey, I'm your server here tonight. By the way, Jeff the magician is going to be coming around. If I can get them to give that spiel for me, that sure helps me out a lot if I can have more teams. So I'll do anything to take care of them. I'll even offer, hey, if you need something, you need to run a drink or something, just I'll try to be on their side on their team. You can do that kind of stuff. But yeah, you want to kind of be known, because approaching the table cold is the hardest thing, but that's exactly what you have to do sometimes. Sometimes you have to come up and say, hi, my name is Jet the Magician. The management has kindly paid me to be here, and I'm going to show you some tricks. And sometimes you just got to be that bold and just get into it. Because if it's a slow, sleepy night, or there's not many tables yet, the restaurant's kind of quiet, or the party hasn't picked up yet, you got to find a way to pick up that party. Because particularly if you're being paid to be there, you want the host, the owner, the manager, the proprietor, whoever, you want them to know that you're making people happy. And so you do that by sound and reactions. So coming in flashy lets me be seen and known and heard.
Sure, sure, and I wish I would have grabbed it, because I didn't think about it, but, another there's another book, The Approach by Jamie D. Grant is another good book that has to do with that, um, kind of the opening sequence, but that's interesting that you say that, 'cause I do the same thing with I put a picture of myself at the hostess stand,
Uh-huh.
for an event, for, a close-up event or a restaurant, that kinda thing. That way people on the way in, even subconsciously, they see something's about to happen, you
Yeah.
know?
So you have
Um,
your own sign, like you have your own sign that you've
I
got
have
printed?
my own, like, big
Yeah.
professional sign that I have printed and set it, at the door or at the hostess stand, with permission, obviously.
Yeah.
But that way, it helped the client understand, like, hey, this is going to get people in the mood for what they're about to experience, and it's just all part of the environment, So
Yeah, I
that's
think
really
that's
cool that you introduce yourself with the servers as well.
yeah.
Um,
Anybody and everybody, we gotta be on the same team, because if the server sees me as a nuisance, they're gonna walk right over me. They're gonna interrupt the trick. They're just gonna say, "This guy's in my way of making money," because that's what basically everybody's kind of there for. If you're performing for tables and stuff like that, you probably want to increase your business or get your business card out there. Even if you're not trying to make a living at it, you probably want to find more work, and so it's always good to have that opportunity.
And if you're not in a working environment, when we're just talking about hanging out with friends or the first time you're performing, what are some thoughts on, I guess, flourishing and that kind of thing? Is that a similar kind of approach you have, Rick, as far as showing something very flourishy at the beginning?
Uh, that is not my approach. Um, I tend to, I know this has probably been said by others, but I think the best opener is just, hey, how are you doing tonight? Like, open with conversation, but get to the point quickly of who you are and why you're there. But what I do first kind of depends on my gauge of that person or that group. So just by taking 30 seconds to ask them how they are, you can immediately get a level on, like, okay, I might do one or two things and then I'll move on from this group.
Mm.
Or, hey, this group seems like energetic and they're fun. I could probably hang out here for 5 minutes. And so that might determine if I do like a one coin routine and then do like a change at the end and then I bounce. Or if I
Sure,
hang out there and do like a coin trick, then a card trick, and then like
sure.
something in between. So flourishes as the opener, not so much. I also I don't have a wide toolkit of flourishes, but uh, I think the point of that is you want to do something visual and that's quick. Once you've established who you are, had a bit of conversation, then do something like impressive and visual. And so now they're watching. They're like, "Oh, okay, this guy's actually good."
Yeah,
Because
and I go
most
ahead.
most people have I'll say a bad perception of magic. I'm just speaking in general. Uh, but at the same time, I'd say most people are open to seeing magic. It's fun. But we got to remember your average person has not likely seen real real good close-up magic in their lives. So
Probably not.
you could be someone's first experience in that.
It's true.
So a quick visual opener that hopefully could lead into two, three, four tricks. But again, my opener is that conversation, so I can gauge that group or that one person to decide, like, am I going to do one thing or a few things and move on.
Sure, that's interesting. I think towards the end here, I think it'd be great if we talked about some specific tricks that would work
Oh
as
yeah.
good openers. But it's cool to see both of your different perspectives and approaches on that because either way, whether you're doing something like a visual flourish or you're doing more of a conversational style, the goal I think is it's kind of like in fishing. You want to bait the hook, right? You want to throw out some bait, and I use that because Jeff loves the fishing analogies, but
That's a good one. That's a
but
good.
you wanna try to capture attention, whether that's through your personality conversation or through a flourish or you're getting right into the trick. There was like this old cliche where people would say, you should walk up to the table and say, "Is this your white knife?" And then do a color changing knife routine, which maybe is not the best advice anymore,
Rick
but
and I were just joking about that. I
oh,
was
really?
waiting for Rick to pull that line out right before you got in. Before the stream. Is
That's
this
but
your knife?
Which is it's a silly, it's a good example, but it does show in some way they're thinking about, "Okay, how do I get everybody's attention right away?" Because people are
Yeah.
gonna go, "Oh, what knife?"
Yeah.
Like
Most people probably forget that line even ever occurred by the end of the fact. I mean, they're just like, "Oh, he did a knife trick," and they move on to something else. So,
Right. And there have been times where it's like you walk up to a restaurant table, and if you were to do something like that, "Is this your knife?" "No, but I need butter. I need butter now." You know? "Okay, I'll be right back,"
it's
you'll
all
get the
right.
server or whatever. So you gotta be careful with how you're doing stuff, but, just try some different things out, and these are some good suggestions here.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. No, I think so. I mean, I agree with what Rick said. Rick, you were here the other day. We had Travis on, and Travis Askew was saying some of the same stuff. Like he's all about the conversational, building rapport with people, and everything like that. Maybe I just don't have the patience for it. I'm gonna build rapport with people, but I am yeah, I want to get into it just a little bit faster. And I see your point of view. I mean, I think it's great. And it's good to know where you're at. So you guys can take what you want from my performance style, and you'll yeah.
yeah, it's good to have both, and then you could switch between. Now, let me jump a couple comments in here, guys. Good to see everybody, by the way. A couple
Yeah,
people saying hi, good morning. Um,
guys.
Scott says he's playing around with the gadabout coin trick, I guess from Bobo's, leading into a 3 coin set.
Nice.
So there's an option of an opener. Put in your openers, your current openers, in the comments, and we can chat about them. I'm not super familiar with the gadabout coin trick. Are you guys?
It's like two in the hand, one in the pocket
Oh, okay.
kind of idea.
Gotcha. 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 Okay, so that's good. Yeah, because that's engaging and interacting. Do
Yeah,
what?
that's killer and walk around. Walk around.
Hmm.
Mm.
Perfect. Perfect. And then we got a new person here. This is awesome. Illusionist Day. Greedy from the UK. Love your content. Thanks so much. Already learned so much in 12 minutes. So awesome. Good to see you here.
It's a
Thanks so much.
productive 12 minutes. All right.
Yeah. This is my line for attention is, has anyone lost any money? I lose money all the time. Then I go into a black hole, coin disappearance.
Ooh.
There you go. So that's like conversational and a little bit of magic right at the beginning, grabbing their attention.
That's why we love coins. We think that coins grab the most attention for magic. They're shiny, they're valuable, they're things people are interested, they care about. And
Mhm.
so you start talking about money, you've got people's attention, right?
I will throw in something. It's funny because somebody mentioned an Eric Jones effect I'm about to get to, but I'll throw in something Eric said. Eric Jones once said, uh, I can't remember his exact quote, so don't quote me on this. He's a buddy of ours, so I don't want to misquote him, uh, or misquote anyone for that matter. But he said something to the effect of, most card tricks would be better as coin tricks. And it's like, if you think about it, cards across, coins across. A little makes a little bit more sense, right? Like, you know.
Cards across. I could go on a tangent there. I don't get it. Like it's like for years, coin magic. We're like, let's take that card magic plot and apply it to coins. Let's take wild card plot. We make wild coin. All these different things. But for some reason, card magicians got interested and decided to make cards across. Like I'm talking about like 3-fly with cards. Like I know there's already across, but like it's like that's kind of a weird. Let me take these 3 playing cards and make them go from hand to hand like coins.
Nothing wrong with it, but it is weird. Yeah, no, Danny DeOrtiz has a really good version.
Oh, does he?
Little,
Okay,
little plug for you guys. But anyways, let's see here. Yeah, so somebody mentioned opener Mirage Etoile.
Flashy.
Very good stuff.
Let's just see people that you can do impossible things really fast. Love it.
Michael says he opens with a copper silver routine and then into 3-5.
Nice.
So that's another nice flashy kind of visual. So yeah, that's perfect. Good stuff, guys. If you have any more openers, put them in the comments. We're going to talk at the end about some other opener suggestions. But before we get there, I want to just mention the other thing that's great about this opener way of thinking about it and choosing your opener is you want to think about something that shows what you do, right? Like your skill level, or maybe not your skill level per se, but like what people can expect is about to happen. Right. You want to, it's almost like a precursor to what's about to happen, kind of introduces it. And they always say that I've read so many times that your walk around magic, close up magic should be everything should be like able to be a closer. So that way, just like Rick says, if you do 1 or 2 things and maybe they're not feeling it, or maybe you can feel that's about time, you can end there. Or the food shows up, you can end there. Right. So some kind of a little almost like precursor is a good way to think about your opener. Does this kind of show what they're about to experience and make them excited for more?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think what you're there is you're just right on top of it. You want to have every trick to be solid, and every trick that can be an opener or a closer. That makes sense to me a lot.
Yeah, I think the benefit of walk around or restaurant magic is that we've talked here before on other videos, other topics, stringing routines together and having a through line. But I think the advantage of walk around and stuff is like the tricks don't have to go together or flow together. You could kind of just do a coin trick, and then as they're reacting to that, you put the coins away, and then a deck of cards comes out before they even really like notice anything. Like there's no dead time in between. I feel like you can do that with walk around and restaurant magic, kind of this rapid fire, just strong trick, and then like you said, decide any one of those you could close on, or any one of those you could open on. It's
you made me think
you're only going to be there for 3 to 5 minutes, or depending on the environment's so unpredictable, so they don't have the time to pay attention to like this performance that the one thing flows beautifully into the next, and they're listening to like this long script or something. Like, you have that flexibility to kind of just be rapid fire and off the cuff sort of.
Yeah. You made me think about something there. Maybe we kind of bypass that altogether. Like, what is the opener for your stage show, your parlor show, or your close-up show? And that could be something really different. And Rick, you made me think. You hit something like really beautiful in the head that maybe just go down another concept that you're right about. Like, if I've got a magic show going, I want my effects to be paired perfectly, that they go hand in hand, they lead to each other, and maybe there's a theme, there's a progression, there's some callbacks. We've got not necessarily comedy callbacks. There's just some idea callbacks of you saw this before and now you're seeing it again a different perspective, and you thought you figured it out, like callbacks, progressing the show. And in walk around environment, I think that would be great. That would be ideal. But I mean, part of the reason we want to go out and walk around is we want to try out new effects. We want to progress. We want to work on that new idea, that new Christmas present we just got, or that new Copeland Coins release that just is coming out, you want to go out and practice that thing. And so you can find other themes besides being perfectly polished. And my stage show opener is going to be something radically different. It's going to be some bigger props, some bigger items that I don't want to walk around in a restaurant because it'd just be kind of uncomfortable. Not that I couldn't do it there, it just wouldn't be practical for reset. But you can find other themes. For example, applause, people having fun. If every effect creates applause and that happens in between every effect, we've got a theme there. It could just be magic. It could be, oh, here's a magic trick, and we're watching a magic show with magic tricks. The theme could be you and your personality, the lines you say, the jokes you make, or the comebacks, or the quips, or the responses that you make. And so you can find that theme as you develop your character. And so just make your opener fit to that, and then you got something going there.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I was going to mention, as far as, because my next thing to talk about, glad you brought that up, Rick, was transitioning between effects. And like you're saying, in close up, you don't always have to have such a smooth transition, but it's nice to think about. I think it was Larry Jennings, maybe Di Vernon, both of them were always saying it's important. How are you getting in and how are you getting out of the effect? That's like some of the most important things. And so, if you're thinking about, if each effect is structured and routined in a way that okay, in order to start this effect, I can ask this question, or I can start with this flourish, or I could, you know what I mean? Like I'm creating a little mini story every time, then don't necessarily have to link them all together because they kind of flow almost like a movie, I guess. Like this new
Yeah.
thing happened and then we're here, and then a new scene happened and then we're here.
Absolutely. While we're in the restaurant environment, let's look at it this way. If for dessert I'm having chocolate cake, that doesn't mean I also had to have chocolate chicken for my entree and chocolate salad for my appetizer.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like Scott Hartman mentioned Gadabout coins. That's a great example because if you do it by the book, the way it's described, you end with nothing in your hands. You started with 3 coins, and then the finale is all the coins are gone. They're all in your pocket. So that gives you the opportunity to let's do a card trick. You guys like cards? Okay. Yeah, because all your props from the first effect are now cleaned up and gone. So it's not like, it's kind of an out of the box kind of transition in terms of like you've cleaned up effect 1, so now that you have a clean slate for effect number 2.
But you did exactly what I was just mentioning too. When if anybody noticed, Rick said, "Hey, we'll do a card trick. Do you guys like cards?" And it's like that was the thing that started off that trick. It was a easy transition,
Yeah.
because everybody's just like, "Oh, magic,"
The other easy transition about that, you end with your hands empty, and it's like that's
Right.
awkward. I've got to produce something else now to keep going. Like otherwise, it's just awkward. You don't want to end like that. Like you want to end on an appearance. You want to end on something. So it makes sense, Rick.
And here's another an idea too: is if you do something like Gadabout coins. Actually, Scott says that his version his handling ends in their hands, so that's another option. You could pretty easily take those coins and say, now actually some people might say that I use some kind of special coins. I don't, you can see, but do you have any coins yourself, and then do something with their props, right? That's some way to transition into something else. You might want to do coin tricks the whole time, but you don't have to just do the same tricks with the same coins every single time. You could be using other props. You could be using a coin purse. You could be using a coin box like we offer at Copeland. You could be using their coins. There's all sorts of different ways you can think about making texture and variety, right?
I love that word texture. Somebody mentioned that to me the other day. It was like texture.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I may have shared before. Like if I'm hired out for a gig with multiple magicians, more than once in my life, I've gone out with nothing but coins in my pocket, and I'll make sets of 3 for each individual group, or I'll kind of have a basic core of where I want to go, and I'll just use coins. And it doesn't matter that all 3 tricks are coins, because these coins are on a string, and these coins are going through a box or a purse or a wallet. And these coins are just barehanded. And that was the most impossible thing ever, because he had nothing else but coins, And so you can create texture and variety. You can do that with cards just the same. I mean, that's just commonplace. A lot of guys already do that with cards. But you can, I say that just, that seems more likely of what people would do, just go out with a bunch of card tricks. But yeah, you can string things together with whatever. So,
Sure. And let me jump into it. There's a couple other people that put in their openers here. Jose says nothing works better than sponge balls because you engage the spectators. That's a sponge balls is another great opener.
SpongeBob is so powerful.
Right? It's just awesome. I feel like it's similar to some of the coin. I mean, it's not quite the same, but like Garrett Thomas's imagination coins
Hmm.
is kind of a similar idea. Coins going into their hand. You know,
Yeah.
the routine that you put together from Bobo's for the copper silver, the Presto Changeo handling
Uh-huh.
is in their hands, right? I mean,
Yeah.
stuff is happening. So
Yeah.
anything like with your in their hands is kind of interesting too. I usually maybe I'll just jump straight into this. A lot of times I'll open with rubber band magic. Something simple, easy for them to examine, very, very clean. And then it starts in my hands and ends in their hands, just like Scott was talking about. And that way it's almost like you're breaking that miniature fourth wall as the trick progresses, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
Um,
No, that's good. No, and I love SpongeBob. I'll give a little. Oh, here's one for free. One of the reasons I think SpongeBob is so great because you're right. It's very similar to coins. And any way you can do this in your hands, it's harder to do in spectators' hands. You can make vanishes sometimes, it is. But the SpongeBobs are great because they animate. You've got this like a can of, the can Pringles can that has the can of snakes that pop out. When they open the SpongeBobs, they move and they're live. And there's like this extra animation. Find ways to do that with your coin magic. It'll amplify it.
Good point. That's a good point. And the last one I put on here that I see is Farron says playing with Miles Thornton's Full Circle, and we just had Miles on a few back. I think Full Circle might be is coin, or maybe it's a ring. I think it might be a ring routine.
Okay.
The whole idea is that it goes full circle. You know, like it starts back where it started at the beginning, kind of like what Rick was saying, and then he's able to move on to the next thing or put it away, kind of that
Miles
kind of
is
thing.
so good at that. Oh man, he's
Miles
one of
knows
the
what he's
best.
doing. If you haven't seen that episode of our live stream, look at a couple live streams back and talk about close-up magic and pocket management. And it's
Pocket
so yeah,
management. That was
ring
a good
stuff.
one.
Exactly. That was a great one. Yeah, Miles is fantastic. Um, so I think the last thing we want to get in before we wrap up here is just a couple more examples of good openers that we could think of, good coin magic openers we can think of off the top of our head. And one of the
Ricky,
things I
you ready
want,
to go? I got backwards again. Let you talk. I've been chatting a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, I'll start off with one if you want, and
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
what you
Please
guys
do.
say
Please do.
about it. A coin production.
Mhm.
If you guys, I don't know if you have any specifics, but the idea of starting with absolutely nothing and then producing something that you're going to use seems like a pretty logical and easy, thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention a one coin routine, but using Jeff's Blackbird, which is like an awesome utility device, and
And what is
it comes
Blackbird
in
for those who don't
it
know?
comes in a set of two. uh, you can have a coin at your fingertips at a moment's notice, and you can start empty. You can show sleeves rolled up, and then boom, produce a coin here, produce another coin here. But as far as a one coin routine, you could a one coin routine is like the ambitious card of coins. It can go
Mm,
on too long, and so but at the same time, it's impressive. So like you as the magician, there's a lot of enjoyment out of a one coin routine, and a lot of opportunity to just show off. But I mean, people, if you structure it right, people are into it. They're like, "What? Wait, it's over there. Wait, ah." But and it's there's also this fine line of like not making people feel like an idiot or something
right.
like that Jerry Seinfeld quote.
Yep.
But
So wait. What is that
what
Jerry Seinfeld quote for everybody?
he's something like, "I hate magicians." It's like, look, here's a coin. I put it there. Now it's gone. You're a jerk. Or you're an idiot. Something like. But the thing I like most about a one coin routine, or what I do myself with one coin routine, is I'll end with just the old uh, coin through pocket trick from Bobo's, and that allows me to get my coin wallet and steal that out. So the coin penetrates from inside the pocket to outside, and then I can do one last transformation, and it could be anything. It could be your cell phone, it could be a deck of cards, but it's an easy transition, and it's easy to get rid of one coin. You're palming just one coin. So if it's a deck of cards, you do one last change, just a shuttle pass. It looks so surprising, but it's so easy. I wanted to see if
Can you
I
show us
could
what it
be
looks
in
like?
frame here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would be in my pocket, and I've done a series of vanishes and blah blah blah. So
Look good.
my last trick
Yeah.
would just be the let me just show you this. See, the coin is in the pocket, and this move from Jeff Copeland.
Oh, those are my movies.
That's from Treasure.
Boom.
I mean, Corner Pocket.
And then so the coin goes through the pocket, and then oh, we just change it to a
Jeez
coin wallet.
Whoa! Dang.
That looks so good. Do that one more time. Do that one more time. That change. Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
Rick,
It's
that
so
was
easy.
killer. That was
It's
killer,
so
man.
easy that.
Yeah.
Here comes
So
the
boom,
change.
coin goes through the pocket, and we just boom change it to
Ah!
the cards. So then you're just palming a coin. You can take the cards out, and then drop the coin off in your pocket, or if maybe you have a jacket.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's the simplest thing to ditch that, and then you do some card tricks.
I love
So
that.
I think a one coin routine is great for what it is, but for the last part too, you've got this natural transition to go to something else.
That is
Yeah.
so good.
I
Yeah,
love that. I love that.
Scott
mean-
made a good point. He said he'd love to one coin routine design for a future live stream. I think we definitely ought to do that. And that I think that'd be fun. But that was beautiful, right? I mean, geez Louise.
Yeah, that looks great, man.
It's
I love that.
super
That's like,
simple.
yeah, that's like the difference between like when I was in like a band in middle school and high school, and we had to like stop at the end of the song and move our sheet music over, and then we start the new song. Versus like a real band that just like you never really know. It's like that it's over, everybody applauds, but the new song is just starting. You know, it's like just the smoothness of how it keeps everybody engaged. You know, the little lull, then bam, you're right back into it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's classy.
I like that. And what's nice about that too is what Miles was talking about in a couple live streams ago about pocket management using what you already have. So instead of producing a jumbo coin in this case, Rick has now produced the prop he's using for the next trick,
Mhm.
you know, which is such a good idea instead of having to carry a big old jumbo coin. It's very impressive, but I feel like the cards is almost just as impressive, and it doesn't have to end in a weird way. You don't have to like, okay, now I'm going to try to put this back in my pocket, this jumbo coin. Not nothing against jumbo coins, but it's kind of like, where did it come from? And now you see where it goes. Whereas with the cards, it's like, whoa, okay, and now we're into card magic, you know?
Yeah,
I think
love it.
the jumbo coin has become like the rubber chicken.
It is, yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well received. True.
One more thing I was going to mention as a good opener. I want to ask Rick about this specifically because Michael mentioned it too. He added recoil into the middle of his coin routine. Can you open with
Yeah.
recoil? Have you ever?
Absolutely. I mean, well, I teach on the video, like I kind of I'm kind of vague in the video. I leave it up to you to come up with ideas, but I mentioned the pocket, that ploy, going to the pocket, which allows you to switch in and out of these props in a logical way. So you can absolutely open with recoil, and think about the idea I gave in the video about how this is attracted to a magnet.
Mm.
So think about your ending position and how to clean up a little bit more, and then you could go to the pocket another time to get a different prop. And so in that way you could open with recoil, or I typically do it after stuff just because of the way you end with it. You end with a coin on display, and your one hand is dirty.
Yeah.
So it's a good ending spot to put this coin away and the other thing you have.
Okay.
But you could
but a good
manage
option.
to, yeah, it could
Yeah.
be turned into opener.
So cool. It's so cool. Well, I think we want to kind of wrap up there. There's so many great ideas. You guys have seen so many things, and I flashed up. This is where to get recoil. You can also get Blackbird there. It's such a cool utility.
Yeah,
And
that's my opener every time I go out. It's Blackbird.
Blackbird.
There's a routine there called Ring Bling, and that I've been performing for good night 10 years. I don't know, a long time. It's my
Well,
opener every single night I go out.
Blackbird's on the website, and then there's one more thing that Rick mentioned, and that is part of Corner Pocket. Some coin through the pocket routine. That's really great. It's a great opener. That's a great opener as well.
Yeah.
And it's
Thank
free right now.
you.
We'll give it to you for free if you go here,
Can't beat
and
that.
enter your email address. Send that to all your buddies that want to get a good free routine, and we'll have that there for you.
That move in there is, I don't know what to say. It just, when I first learned that move, I was like, oh, that is such a smart addition to an old trick, and it makes
Thanks.
that old trick like way better.
Oh yeah, so good,
Thanks.
so good.
It looks great in your hands, Rick.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. You guys go run, get that free routine Corner Pocket on the website there, and that's about it for this week. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below this video. We will see you next week. Go make